Good morning, students. In my previous class, I have discussed about problem and features of agriculture. In that class, one small topic was left that I will discuss today, that is subsidy. What is subsidy? Another name of subsidy is state aid. Means the price of few goods and essential goods, some relaxation are given, and that relaxation is bear by the government. In India, few essential goods like LPG, fuel, especially diesel, petrol, kerosene oil, and in agriculture sector, fertilizers company, HYV seeds, uh, these goods are getting subsidies because these are considered essential goods. For a developing country like India, government provides subsidy so the most of the population can get essential goods at lower price than the market price. If in the subsidy in terms of in context of agriculture means that the farmers gets input at lower price than the market price. What are the inputs required in agriculture like HYV seeds, fertilizers, insecticide, pesticide? In all those goods, fertilizer and HYV seeds are available in the subsidized rate of price. During the why the need of subsidy in agriculture? Subsidies are given in agriculture because in the initial phase of green revolution, new technology was looked upon as being risky by the farmers. So it was necessary for the government to grant subsidies to provide an incentive for adoption of new HYV technology. However, with the passage of time, there has been debate over the huge amount of subsidies granted by the government. Few economists were in favor of subsidies, few were against the subsidies. Those economists who were in favor of subsidies, they have their own opinion. They said the government of India should continue with agricultural subsidies as farming in India continue to be a risky business. In India, farming is still a risky business because, as I earlier discussed, that most of the land areas uh, are not getting irrigation facilities. They are still dependent on rainfall. Good rainfall means good harvest, bad rainfall means bad harvest. Second is majority of the farmers are very poor and they will not be able to afford the required inputs without the subsidies. Third is third opinion that is very relevant, that eliminating subsidies will increase the income inequality between rich and poor farmers and will violate the ultimate goal of equity. In brief, we can say that subsidy in India are necessary for poor and small farmers to enable them to make use of modern agricultural technique. Necessary steps should be taken to ensure that only the poor farmers enjoy the benefits of subsidies, not the fertilizers industry and big farmers. These economists has opinion that subsidies should be provided, but that the benefits should be given to a small and marginal farmer, nor to the fertilizer industries and the big farmers. Some economists were against the subsidy. According to them, Subsidies were granted by the government to provide an incentive for adoption of new HYV technology. So, after the whole acceptance of technology, subsidy should be phased out as their purpose has been served. Subsidies do not benefit the poor and small farmers, as benefit of substantial amount of subsidies go to the fertilizer industry and prosperous farmers. Therefore, there is no case for continuing with subsidies as it does not benefit the largest group and target group are small and marginal farmer. It is huge burden for the government finance also. Students, you must be able to understand what is subsidy and why is the need of subsidy in the agriculture sector, and what are the drawback of giving subsidies in agriculture sector. Because some economists was in favor of giving subsidies in agriculture. There are certain opinion that should be taken into consideration, but some economists are against the subsidy. They have their own opinion, and that is also very relevant. So that topic was left, so today I discuss about it. From this topic hardly one question will come, maybe in 1 marks and in 3 marks. Long question, there will be no long question in this topic. Now, student, I will start new chapter, that is strategies of industrial growth from 1947 to 1990. Uh, you have to study in this chapter industrial growth uh, from 1947 to 1990, because after 1990 new economic policy was started. New economic reforms take place, that is very famously known as LPG, that you have to study separately. So in this chapter what I will discuss about what is the importance of industry. The next is state participation in industrial development, industrial policy resolution 1956, its good and bad impact, and small scale industry, large scale industries, how small scale industries and large scale industry help in the development of India. So, in this chapter, few terms first I would like to discuss because these are related to this chapter. These are what is public sector and what is private sector. Public sector is the sector which is managed and controlled by the government, where main motive is to welfare of the society. All the economic problems like what to produce, how to produce, and from whom to produce, these decisions are taken by the government. In a private sector, managed and controlled by the individual or maybe group of the people, and their motive is to earn more and more profit. And in private sector, the economic problems here, what to, how, and for whom to produce, all decisions are taken by the individual or group of people. That term will be used in this chapter. That's why I discuss it. Now, one more thing, that is industrial sector. Industrial sector, another name of industrial sector is manufacturing sector. Industrial sector, why industrial sector is known as manufacturing sector? Because I already discussed, and you must be knowing that all economic activity is classified into three sector: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Industrial sector came into the industry is came into the category of secondary sector, and that is known as manufacturing sector because in the secondary sector those goods and services are taken where the raw material which is taken from the primary sector converted into new goods with the help of knowledge, skill, and machines and tools by the process of manufacturing. That's why industrial sector is also known as manufacturing sector. Students, industrial sector is considered as the backbone of the economy. That if you have to analyze about any country related to development, only industrial sector shows the development of any country. Industrial sector is most important sector in any economy. So the development of industrial sector is very important. The developing countries like India can progress only if they have a good industrial sector. Industrial provides employment which is more stable than the employment in agriculture, because agriculture there is lots of in agriculture there are lots of risk, because uh, agriculture sector we are still dependent on rainfall. There are lots of disguised unemployment exist in agriculture sector, whereas in industrial sector there is hardly any such kind of risk. Industrial sector promotes modernization and overall prosperity. Due to this reason, 5-year plans stressed a lot on the industrial development. At the time of independence, the varieties of industries were very limited. Industry were in the stage of premature. The only cotton and textile industries and jute industries were mostly developed in India. There were only two well managed iron and steel firms, one in Jamshedpur, that is known as Tisco Tata Iron and Steel Industries, and other is in Kolkata. So there was a strong need to expand the industrial base with varieties of industries. And now I will discuss uh, what is the importance of industry in the development of India. So now I'll discuss importance of industry in this chapter, that is strategy of industrial growth 1947 to 1990. The first topic I will discuss here is importance of industry. What is the importance of industry in the economy? The first importance here is epicenter of industry, the epicenter of economic growth. Because industries serve as an epicenter of economic growth, because as GDP rises, there is structural transformation in the economy. Structural transformation means the structure of economy started to change, means the most of the population started to shift in the other sector of the economy, like industrial sector or service sector. Industry starts replacing agriculture as the engine of growth. This is because, unlike agriculture, industry provide a wide range of goods. Industry provide wide range of goods. Goods which the consumer would like to consume as their income rises. Because of rise in income, if the development of industry take place, its direct impact is income of the consumer started to rise, and industry also provide wide range of goods to the consumer. So there is larger major scope of expansion of the economy. Gradually, industry replace agriculture as an epicenter of growth. Second importance is of industry is source of employment. Source of employment. Source of employment. Industry is important source of employment. This becomes significant when agriculture is already overburdened and the labor force is rising rapidly. In India, there is already overforce in agriculture sector. If the development of industry took place, then that labor forces can be adjusted in industrial sector. In fact, with the rise in agricultural productivity, farming sector has released a large supply of labor force. It can be gainfully employed only in occupation outside agriculture. Then industry plays a important role in this context. Third one is source of mechanized means of market of farming. Industries is source of mechanized means of farming. As you know, students, there are lots of uh, technology required in agriculture sector. Here, industry play a crucial role in mechanization of farming. Use of machines like tractors, threshers, and harvester in farming has become possible only growth and development of industry. Mechanization has caused a rapid rise in farm productivity and mechanization of in farming that India has succeeded in providing enough food for second most populated country in the world. With the help of machines, India is able to provide food. That is the India is the second largest populated country in the world. Here the industry play a very significant role. Fourth is imparts dynamism to growth process. Impart imparts dynamism to growth process. Imparts dynamism to growth process. Industry imparts dynamism to growth process. In the absence of industry, growth process would have been restricted to the production of food for survival. Food for survival. Industrialization has added new dimension in human life. New dimension. Industry provide new dimension in human life, because if there would not be industry, people life were restricted only on the food for survival. And with the help of industry, it provide new dimension to human life. It has generated a wave of consumerism, means a wide variety of goods and services. With the help industry provides wide range of foods and services, and that give a new dimension to human life. Next importance of industry is growth of civilization. Growth of civilization. How industry help in the growth of civilization? Because urbanization means shifting of population to rural area to urban area. In the wake of industrialization, because of industrialization, people migrated from rural to urban area, has led to growth of civilization. People become conscious of their quality of life. They work hard to achieve higher levels of education and skill. Culturally diverse society are getting closer to each other. The world economies are merging into a global economy. So industry also helps in the growth of civilization. Next point is infrastructural growth. Industry also help in the infrastructural growth. Infrastructural growth. Various raw material which is required in the development of infrastructure which is provided by the industry. Industrialization has led to infrastructural growth in the economy. Industry tends to spread across different part of the country, and as it is spread there is expansion of infrastructural facilities. In terms of both industrial growth and infrastructural growth, both are interlinked. The growth of one sector escalates the growth of another sector. Next is industrialization. Industrialization is absolutely absolutely necessary for the growth process, and industrialization are so intimately related to each other that industrialization is often taken as the thing that is absolute necessary for the developing country. In fact, industrialization has emerged as an inevitable route to the process of growth. These are the importance of industry. Again, I am revising it in nutshell. Industries. What is the importance of industry? First, very important of industry is considered epicenter of economic growth, because industry provides various range of goods and services to the consumer, and due to development of industry there is expansion of growth, and because of expansion of growth people are quality of life also improve because their income also rises. Second is source of employment. Industry gives a source of employment, where I have discussed earlier that there are disguised unemployment exists in agriculture. Those disguised unemployed youth population can be absorbed in the industrial sector. Third is source of mechanized means of farming. Machines which are required in farming is provided by the industry, like tractors, threshers, harvesters, and these goods are very necessary for the development of agriculture. Because of these use of these goods, the farm productivity has can be increased. So and these goods are provided by the industry. Next one is impart dynamism to the growth process. Yes, with the help of industry, the if there would not have been industry, then the life of people might be restricted only to survival and just limited to getting the food. But because of industry, a wide range of goods and services are available, so we can say that yes, impart dynamism in the life of the human being. Next is growth of civilization. As you know, student, the world economy is changing rapidly, and most a new for urbanization of any country, there is a need of developed infrastructure, and for development of infrastructure, um, industrial goods are required, and that leads to growth of civilization. Next, I earlier discussed again on the screen, that is infrastructural growth. Raw material which are required for infrastructure, like steel, iron, machines, tools. These goods are used in the development of infrastructure. All these goods are industrial product, Next is industrialization is absolutely necessary for the growth. We can conclude with this line that yes, industrialization is absolutely necessary for the growth, because without industrial development, as I earlier discussed through these points, you will understand that development will be very difficult. So students, these are the importance of industry. In my next class, I will discuss state participation in the industry.